Welcome back, all my drift nuts. Nuts. Today we are doing a oil cooler on the E46 drift car. Check it out. Boom! There she is. So stay tuned, because I'm gonna take you along for the ride. All right. Off camera, last night I got a head start on what we're working on today, so I'm gonna get this hood popped open, and you can see got a little addition here. Gonna put an oil cooler in the car. Last time at the track I was fighting some high temperatures with the oil and got a little bit of a valve tick on the exhaust side, obviously the hottest side as far as the head goes. So today we're gonna cut the lines, put the ends on. I got the new piece to replace this guy right here. That's getting replaced with a new cap that gives me 2 ports to use for gauges and 2 AN10 fittings to plumb oil lines with. So I've got all the pieces to the puzzle. Let's get this thing cracking. So first thing I want to figure out with this is I got to figure out where I'm going to plumb these lines. You can see I made this bracket here. Metal on top. I used a piece of angle aluminum. My fabrication of choice, because it's super easy to use, it's super easy to cut, put holes in, and it's strong enough. The angle is strong enough to take the abuse. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get these 2 lines ran, and I think I'm going to end up going down under the headlight here, up under, I don't know if you can see this, but along the frame rail, which will lead us out here. I'm going to have to run it probably behind under the intake. I might try to use this stud as a mount, because I've got some clamps for the hoses. So I'm gonna try to get it up under here, around, and come out to here. And a lot of guys are the piece, which I'll show you in a second. The lines, they're pointing them out this way. I think what I'll do is end up pointing them out this way, the 2 fittings for the hoses, and I've got 45s, and I think I'm gonna end up running it just right like there. Like I said, background underneath. It's a little longer than I'd like to run due to some pressure drop issues, but so be it. Got to do what I got to do. Running stock airbox doesn't allow me to have as much room as I'd like. You can kind of see me. I'm evaluating my situation right now, how I want to go about this, but don't have a lot of time. Sonoma Drift Wednesday night is coming up quick. It's Monday night. I only have about 3-4 hours a night to work on the car, and I have to get this done in order to move the car back to its other parking spot where I'm keeping it right now. So here we go, guys. Let's get it done. So PMC Motorsport, this is what it looks like. This is the cap replacement. You can see you've got the AN10 fittings on top. It's going to pull oil feed from the original oil filter housing. This top piece here, you unbolt all these screws, and you can adjust after you get it screwed down into place. You can adjust where these point out. So like I said, my plan is to kind of go that way with it, and run my lines out this way. Maybe we'll see if I can get creative and maybe sneak down by my headlight here. Actually, that might work. Now that I'm talking about it, I might take my headlight out and make that work, because that's a maybe a better path. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know yet. All right, let's get started. So, gonna take my side marker out first. Get this puppy out. Loosen up. So I'm super sore. Bending down like this sucks. I started working out again recently, and needless to say, I am severely out of shape. So everything that involves bending over or squatting hurts a lot right now. But you know, too many burgers, too many beers, don't fit in the seat very well. Trying to just be more comfortable in general. Driving the car and just overall feeling of well-being has been lacking. So, you know, what do you do? What do? You go to the gym and hate yourself afterward. That's what you do. So, all right, 4 bolts. Not a whole lot of cussing, and she's out. So, unplug everything. Okay, fun fact. I was hoping to avoid this. I guess I'm not going to. See this right here? This interferes with the base of the adapter. So I'm gonna get the Dremel out and just shave this puppy down just a smidge to make clearance. It's barely in the way. I just test fitted it to see how much I had to take off, and it's basically if you drew a very shallow straight line from here to here, just that little tab, and that tab doesn't hold anything on. That's, I was concerned about that. So we're good to go. We'll take care of that right now. That's it for that. Woo! PCM does provide a filter, so don't do what I'm doing and reuse old oil just in a hurry. So I'm being dumb. So just don't be like me. Don't be dumb. We have some oil on the O-rings. And this one, you can see the O-ring right here. Seal it all. I could use a strap wrench or a filter wrench to get this tight all the way, but we're not going to be smart, and we're going to be lazy. I think she's just about down, folks. Being super careful. Sure, there's probably a filter wrench that drops right on this. Okay, here's what the top looks like before you put it in. Here we go. Insertion. Complete. This is my 45. This is kind of what you can see. That's not going to work. Maybe if I go down underneath the car. Should have ordered 90s, folks. Should have just got it. Okay, so the thing I didn't want to do is happening. I'm gonna run, for now, I'm gonna run these, and I'm gonna go down along the fan shroud here, down up underneath and I'm gonna have to come down and around. Maybe I can come around this way out of there and then come up and over. I'm just trying to protect it from getting eaten up if I decide to go off track again, which if you've watched the channel, you know happens. Oh, let's get it done. Hose. I got hose. Only in this area code, and got my fittings. So these fittings, if you don't know, you're about to. So these fittings, what they do is you unscrew it, big end off, small end. This end actually goes into the hose. This end goes over the hose. So what you want to do is you get this sleeve. Once I get everything cut, I'll be a little better about showing you, but what you do is you take this sleeve, doink, and you end up sliding this sleeve over this hose like so. And after this sleeve is on the hose, at that point you keep the hose in the sleeve, you keep it all clamped together, and then you run this down. I put a little bit of like WD-40 on this because it evaporates and it doesn't interfere with much. It doesn't cause any damage to the hose. And then you screw this down into the hose until it's tight, and boom, there you have your fitting screwed on to what you're working with. So let's get this hose cut and get this done, because I'm running out of daylight and I'm running out of patience. Okay, so I've got my length figured out for the hose, I think. What I did, this is what she looks like here. I just made a quick little Sharpie mark, zip tie on the hose, cut the hose right along the zip tie. It'll keep all these strands together. Way easier, way more manageable. So let's get that set up and get to cutting. All right, that's set up. Got my grinder. Let's cut this puppy off. One side down, we're gonna spin it. Look at that, nice clean cut, no frayed edges. Pretty killer way to do it. So I'm gonna do the same thing over here. Get rid of this taped end that it came with. Safety first. Perfect end, ready to go. We'll leave the other end zip tied for now. This is gonna be my angled end. Oof, nasty. So this will be my, I think I'm gonna use this, my straight end. My straight ends are a little easier. This one's not as clean as the cut. So I'm gonna grab that real quick and we'll get this thing on. Okay, there we go. See, the end of the hose is up against the end of the inside of this ferrule. So that's where you want to keep it. Now, I'm gonna aluminum plates, put them in your vise, just to keep it in place. And then find the right size wrench for this. Didn't do that off camera, so I'm gonna figure that out right now. Stand by. Should have used more lube, I guess. Can never have too much lube. Getting real close. Till it pretty much bottoms out. I like to line up the flats if possible. So it's bottomed out. This thing still spins good. There we go. There's your hose. And hose. Done. Another fun fact. If you don't have a 27, inch and a 16th will work. This is enough lube to make any woman go wild. Day turns into night. So got the hoses all made. Struggled with one of the 45-degree fittings, didn't want to go on, but you know, I had enough fight in me this evening. This is what I ended up with. I got some cool eBay keep together fancy hose clamps. So there's that end, and my two ends that go down onto oil cooler. There we go. Got all this area accessed. These just drop right in, get it hooked up, and you'll see the end product. All right, so I got the lines installed. I took off the lines from the oil filter housing adapter. What I'm gonna do is get a funnel, get some oil, and I'm gonna fill up these lines and fill up the oil cooler before I start the car, because I don't want to dry run anything in this engine. It's been super reliable so far. I want to keep it that way. So I'm gonna get the funnel, get some oil, we'll top this thing off. Try not to make a huge mess. The way things are going tonight might make a huge mess, so we're gonna try not to do that. All right, here we go. My funnel, I've got my oil, Kendall. I'm running a Kendall GT1 Max, full synthetic 5W30 in this car. Kendall, feel free to reach out to me and hook a brother up. So the thing with these fittings that I will have to try to remember during this is they're not seated. The threads aren't sealed. It's the actual flare that seals the fitting. So I'm gonna have to kind of just put this oil in here gingerly and try not to make a huge mess. So got some rags here. Get some more rags handy. I'm sure there's a better method, but this is what we're going with. Maybe I'll do some over here. Let's see what we get. And this is a good way to check capacity, because I already have a full engine of oil, and I need to find out how much extra oil, there it is, I'm gonna need to keep this baby topped off. And of course, the thing I was trying to avoid, I did, but that's good in a sense that now we know what our capacity is. 3/4 of a quart, so my capacity just went up almost a full quart of oil to keep this car cool. Well, everything will be shiny because it's coated in oil, so that's a good, it's a good thing. It'll look clean, might not actually be clean. Don't have any leaks down there so far. Yeah, there's a right wrench. Right tool for every job. This one's the right tool for a lot of jobs, so don't hate Nipex. Nipex, your lifesaver. right, no leaks, so pretty stoked. You can feel the heat getting to the cooler. And the lines, there it is. Pretty damn excited. Pretty excited. So I'm glad that went really smooth. I did the oil cooler bracket off camera because I just didn't have the camera with me. So my apologies for that. I didn't really get to show you how I fabbed that up. It was a super quick job. Did it in about an hour just to keep it in place. And yeah, I'm pretty stoked. It looks like we got it. Ops check, leak check good. Pretty stoked. Next thing I'll probably do on this thing is put a fan on it, and just to keep it even that much cooler. So, and we're all finished up here with the drift car. She's running behind me, warming up, just to make sure that everything's good to go when it's hot. Thanks for joining me on this one. Headed to the track 2 days. That video will come out when I'm done there. I'm gonna keep this content coming to you guys. Please help me grow the channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, do all the things that we all ask you to do here on YouTube. All right, guys, take it easy. Thanks.